Now 18b says convert 27,576 kilometers per hour into meters per second. We need to do two conversions here. So number one, we change from kilometers to meters. That's what we need to do. And second conversion which we need to do is changing from hours to seconds. Right. So let's first write it down, the conversion chart first. So kilometers is a unit for length. Kilometers, then we have meters, then we have centimeters, and then we have millimeters. So to change from kilometers to meters, we need to multiply the number by 1,000. From meters to centimeters, we need to multiply the number by 100, and centimeters to millimeters, we multiply by 10. Okay. Now, for time, we use hours and minutes and seconds. So if I draw the hours as well, so hours, then we have minutes, and then we have seconds. Now, to change from hours to minute, in 1 hour we have 60 minutes. So we need to multiply with 60. And from changing to minutes to second, we need to multiply again with 60 because in 1 minute we have 60 seconds, right? So this is the two things which you need to draw in front of you. So to see that how to do this conversion, right? So the first thing we'll do is because it's converting 27,566 kilometers per hour, so we change the hours first. Okay, so in 1 hour we have 60 times 60, which means we have 3,600 seconds. You don't need to do this conversion in your head, you just use your calculator because it is a calculator paper. Then 27,576, that is the distance. We divide that number by 3,600 because we need to change it into seconds, right? And that gives you the answer, which is 7.66. Okay, and this is still in kilometers. So then we multiply that number, which is 7.66, we multiply that by 1,000 to change it into meters. And that gives you 7,660 meters per second. And that's your answer. Right, question number 19. Croc is simplifying 6 and 5 times 2n to the power of 4. His answer is 8n to the power 20. Identify the two mistakes he has made. So the mistake one he made is when you multiplies the two numbers, okay, so he actually add the numbers together. So he needs to do 6 times 2, which gives you 12. And what he actually done, he add the two numbers together, and that gives you the answer, which is 8, which is the mistake basically. And when you multiply the n to the power of 5 and n to the power of 4, when you do n to the power of 5 times n to the power of 4, that should gives you n to the power of 9. Okay, so when we are multiplying two n's together, powers will add, not multiply. That's one of the law of indices, right? So his answer should be 12 n to the power of 9, okay, instead of 8 n to the power of 20. Right, question number 20, x plus 6 in a bracket, and then we have another bracket which is x minus 3. You can use two different methods, okay? So I can show you the grid method as well for multiplication. So we draw a grid like this, and then we just put the values. So in the first grid we put x, and then the second number is plus 6. And then we put x again for this one, this x, and then we have minus 3. So we put minus 3 on this side here. And in the middle, we put multiplication sign. Then we multiply. So x times x is x square. Okay. So it's x square. X times plus 6 is plus 6x. Minus 3 times x is minus 3x, and minus 3 times 6 is minus 18. So then you just need to combine the things together. So x squared plus 6x minus 3x minus 18, and that gives you x squared plus 6 minus 3 is plus 3x minus 18. Okay, so your final answer will be x squared plus 3x minus 18. Question number 20, part B. Solve x minus 9 bracket and then another bracket which is x plus 4 equals 0. Now, solve means finding the value of x. So, find what is x, right? Now, to find the value of x, what we need to do when we have double brackets, we put both, each of these brackets equals to 0. So, x plus x minus 9 equals 0 and x plus 4 equals 0. And then we solve this individually, and that gives you x equals minus 9. When you take it on the other side, that gives you plus 9. So x equals 9, and this will give you x equals minus 4. So that can be the possible values of x. So x can be either 9 or x can be either minus 4. So if I put the value of 9 in this equation here, that gives you 9 minus 9, which is 0, and that actually make this equation true. Or if you put minus 4 in this equation, like minus 4 plus 4, that again gives you 0, which makes an equation true. So x can be 9 or x can be minus 4. Okay. Question number 21. Write 225 as the product of its prime factors. Now, prime numbers are the number which comes only in one's timetable on itself. It doesn't come in any other timetable. Okay. So there are different ways which you can start making the prime factor tree. For example, you can start with 3. 3 times 75 gives you 225. And then you break 75 into two parts, which gives you 3 times 25. That gives you 75. And then you can start, and then you can circle all the numbers which are primes here as well. So 25 is not a prime number, so you break it into two parts. And that is 5 times 5 is 25. And 5 is a prime number, and so you circle both of them as well. Or you can start with a different way. For example, you can start with write down 225, and then you can do 5 times 45. Okay, circle the 5 because 5 is a prime number. 5 times 9 is 45, so 5 is another prime number, and 9 is not a prime number, so you need to think that 3 times 3 gives you 9, so you circle these two as well. So whatever way you choose, your final answer should be 3 times 3 times 5 times 5. Okay, and that is the product of its prime factor. The combination will always be the same, whatever way you choose to work out the product of the prime numbers. Question number 22. Volume of a sphere is 4 over 3 pi r cubed. So that is the formula. A steel sphere, radius is 3 centimeter is shown. Okay, so this is a steel sphere and the radius of this sphere is 3 centimeters. We need to work out the volume of the sphere. So volume is, you just need to use a formula substitution here. The volume of the formula is given in the question, which is 4 over 3 pi r cube. So we just need to use your calculator, and then instead of r, we put the value of r in the formula. And that gives you v equals 4 over 3 times z by pi, and the pi button is in the calculator, times z by r cube, which is 3 cube. And that should give you the answer, which is 36 pi. Then we need to change it into decimal by pressing the S to D button, and that gives you the answer, which is 113 or 113.1 centimeters cube. Okay. Question number 22b. The distance of steel is the density of the steel is 5.2 grams per centimeters cube. Work out the mass of the sphere. Now, the formula which you need to remember to work out the mass, that is dmv. Okay, so we know the density is 5.2, that's D. Work out the mass, which means we need to work out the M here. Okay, so the M equals D times V. Now we know the V, which is 113, density is 5.2, so we just need to put the value in the formula, 5.2 times V, which is 113, and that gives you the answer, which is 587.6 or 588 grams as well. Okay, so any of these answers will be correct, or you can use a 36 pi as well. So 36 pi times 5.2, that can also be correct.